Alrighty, so thank you for being patient with me there. We're gonna do a little bit of like a live stream. So the live stream is obviously gonna be talking about the major winter storm. Um, that is obviously the main topic, so that's what we're gonna be talking about. Um, so if you have any questions about the winter storm, feel free to type them in the chat or anything. Whoops. That was not intended. Alright. Anyways. Okay. So, we are live. So, thank you to anyone joining in. Thank you for anyone tuning in. So, as you can tell, we have this, this piece of energy. Oops. We have this, what is it doing? Let's fix this. So, as you can tell, we have this piece of energy here. Throughout, let's see, oh, never mind, whenever I switched it back, let's take a pause. Okay, so this is precipitation type. We have this snowy precipitation up here in Kansas, and it's moving down to the southeast into Oklahoma, and then it's going to combine with this parcel of energy here with this low pressure system, and as you can tell, that's going to bring a major winter storm to these areas. Let's see, I may have to go into settings here, and I may have to turn off. There we go. Okay, that makes the map just look cleaner, I think. So, anyways, we do have this major winter storm. So these two pieces of energy, they're supposed to be combining right now. They're moving over towards Oklahoma. Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas is kind of going to be where these two pieces of energy combine. But as you can tell, I turned off all the winter storm stuff because all the winter storm watches and warnings were actually lagging my computer. But one thing that's going to determine the path of this is the low pressure system. There's a low pressure system. Whoops. Did not mean for that to happen. What is going on? There we go. That's better. Okay. So there's a low pressure system, and it's supposed to come down from the Rockies into the Gulf and kind of go up the coast like this. And that's what's going to be bringing the freezing line further north. Now, I don't know that I completely buy into this idea, and that's because, obviously, that would take a lot, but it's possible. So there's still a lot of uncertainty in the track of everything. And anyone in the chat who has any questions, they can just feel free to ask them. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. But one of the things that's going to be really important is to watch these two high pressure systems here. These will create suppression, and if they are strong enough, they can push it further south than what was originally anticipated. Now, obviously, we don't have the exact track yet either, because the winter storm hasn't even formed yet. Like, this is we're just basically looking at the building blocks of the winter storm right now. And the low pressure system that's bringing, the low pressure system that is bringing all this precipitation into Texas, and then this little system up here, that was kind of like a clipper system that came down. It's going to combine with these two pieces of energy here that will create the winter storm. Right now, the general freezing line track is looking like it's going to go somewhere in here. So it's going to start to trend north as the storm moves on, or at least it's supposed to. But like I said, we don't know yet how exactly far north this is going to trend. Let's refresh this. Okay, so it looks like we have even stronger precipitation from the last scan there. So we have all this precipitation up here, and the precipitation is kind of starting to like intensify over these areas. That's going to kind of be bringing this wintry precipitation. Now, I do notice the models are starting to have a slight southern trend to them. The models are starting to go back south again, and I think this is mainly due to the fact that these two high pressure systems up here, if they get strong enough, they could suppress it. Like, this is how the wind flows around high pressure systems. It's like counterclockwise or clockwise in the northern hemisphere at least. And so whenever we have that happening, you can see these high pressure systems, they will suppress it far to the south. And if they suppress it far enough, then the track will shift pretty south, and that would change precipitation for a lot of areas. However, if it does not shift further south, then it's probably going to do what the models are showing it is right now. And speaking of that, we do have the GFS model here. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, the GFS, it was originally showing it going not that far south or north, but now it's starting to cave to the European model. I don't know how much I agree with this, but it's showing that there is the potential for the shifting north. In this frame, you can definitely tell how the snow line has shifted all the way up north. Now, I don't think that the freezing rain line and the rain line will be up into Kentucky. It's probably going to be a little bit further south than that. The rain is probably going to only extend up into these areas, and then freezing rain into these areas. I don't think it'll go much further north than this. Now, I'm very, I guess you can say, a little bit skeptical of some of the models, especially I've been noticing some of the inconsistencies in a few models. And then as we move on from here, not really much happens, but other than that. But that's really far out, so let's not really talk about that right now because it's not even really a lock. But I'll probably discuss that in a video or something. But let's take a look at the Euro model. They got the new run out. So let's see. Okay, I do think this is one of the models I was saying I was slightly skeptical about. The rain line pushing way too far up north. I don't think that will happen, as saying even into West Virginia. That's why I'm a little bit skeptical of it, because the warm sector would have to be extremely strong for that to occur. So I don't necessarily agree with that. And if you go to the winter weather, its snowfall accumulations don't really align with, they don't really align with it. I mean, you got the snow as far south as here, whereas you had the rain sector as far north as here. So this is one of the reasons I'm a little bit skeptical about it. Now, obviously, it's still a little bit too early to be showing exact totals. That's why right now it's just a general range. Let's see. If we take a look at we could take a look at some of the shorter range models now, in fact. This is the NAM. It shows the snow even further north in the Euro model. And if we take a look at, let's see, the convectional eye models, these are generally some of the shorter range ones. If we take a look at the, let's take a look at the precipitation type. And as we take a look at the precip type, you can see the little clipper system, the high pressure system sitting there. It's suppressing it south, and then it kind of moves to the northeast a little bit, and this second push of energy beats out the high pressure. I don't know if I completely buy into this. This is definitely way too far north. This is showing rain all the way up into southwestern Pennsylvania, so this is definitely a little bit far north. If we take a look at the HRRR model, let's see, the high pressure is there and it's pretty strong, and it does show it changing over to freezing rain. I like the HRRR model a little better for this scenario because it doesn't have the rain pushing all the way up into Kentucky or even West Virginia, whereas the NAM model had it pushing all the way up into southwest Pennsylvania, which was definitely way too far north, I would say. So I like this model. Let's see. Let's take a look at the RAP model. I like to take a look at a lot of different models just to see. This one has the high pressure really suppressing it south. We'll just have to see because the freezing line is all the way down here. I did notice the Euro did trend a little bit south though. Even though it still has the rain a little bit too far north, it did trend. It's starting to trend back south a little bit. Let's see. Let's take a look at the icon. Obviously, none of these models are going to predict it perfectly. Like the icon has it, the high pressure suppressing it, and the high pressure moves out. But I do like the icon a little better though, because it doesn't have the rain going that far north, which is pretty realistic for this scenario. Especially considering it's like mid-January, late January, so it's not going to be cold enough for just plain rain. It'll be like a mix and freezing rain and all that kind of thing. So that's just my thoughts. Thank you. Alright. Well, I guess I'll see you around then. But the different stuff that I'm going to look at here, let's see. The HRDPS, I'm not sure it doesn't go far enough south to see the system. Let's see. I'm just trying to find really any model that could give good insight. I think they have one on Weatherwise, actually. They have the National Blend of Models, which they don't have this really anywhere else for free, I don't believe. So, National Blend of Models is a really good one to use. If we take a look at, let's see. I'm trying to find the, I guess I don't have that on there, but anyway, if we take a look at the snowfall totals on the NBM, okay, let's see. This is showing quite a bit of snow for Oklahoma, around 18 inches. And then as you move up into Tennessee, it's showing less and less snow, only 2 inches, and it shifts it way further south. Probably due to that freezing rain corridor. It's showing some snow all the way down to the Gulf Coast, which I definitely don't agree with. But it is showing like 20-something inches for the Northeast. So it has shifted slightly south, though, I would say. I will say that. Let's take a look back at the composite. And we do have, it looks like we do have the high pressure moving in. We have two high pressure systems actually moving in. The models only showed one. So that's a little bit interesting to see how that plays out. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna look at the AIGFS, and it doesn't look like it has really any. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has really anything at all. But okay, let me show y'all one of the reasons I'm also skeptical of the European model. So if we go to precip typing rate, oh wait, I think I have to. Let's see. Okay, but anyways, one of the things that it was showing is this was showing this as a freezing rain profile. I think this would be, honestly, I believe this would be more of a sleep profile. Even though it's really shallow, I understand that, but it's also pretty deep, though. It goes pretty far backwards, so this is either going to be a really big sleet day or a really big freezing rain day for a lot of people. Let's see. Anyone have any suggestions in chat on what weather models I should use? Anyone? Okay, well, I think this can be it today since I don't think anybody is watching. If you are, type it in the chat, but if I don't see anyone, I'll probably shut the live stream.